Hi everyone, my name is Madison Harpa, and the behaviorist I will be reporting on for this project is Dr. Amanda N. Kelly. For Dr. Amanda N. Kelly's introduction, she is currently a professor at Bay Path University, and she works as a supervisor, mentor, and ethics instructor. Dr. Kelly is the owner of her blog post / personal business called Behavior Babe. Behavior Babe began in 2008 as a Twitter account, however, it soon grew to be multiple social media sites, a blog, and in 2018 she launched a Behavior Babe podcast. Okay, so for her introduction continued, she has worked as a paraprofessional, licensed teacher, school counselor, consultant, coordinator, and behavior analyst. Her experience is within in home settings, public and private schools, residential placements, and community settings for children and adolescents who have social, emotional, cognitive, or behavioral needs. Dr. Kelly's interests extend to dissemination, which is spreading or promoting more information about ABA, public policy, ethics, and sustainability. So, moving forward, I will be talking about Dr. Kelly's publications. She currently has 4 publications. She has 2 publications on decimation. For this slide, I will be talking about her publication called Spreading the News, History, Successes, Challenges, and the Ethics of Effective Dissemination. She expresses that behavior analysts are responsible for disseminating the field by sharing information available widely to the public, which is locally, nationally, and globally. Strategies include considering cultural context, knowing your audience, and using appropriate verbal behavior, simplifying our practice yet keeping it accurate, being professional and polite, being savvy with social media while also setting online boundaries, verifying legitimacy, creating sustainable systems, and networking. The next publication about decimation is called Blurred Lines, Ethical Implications of Social Media for Behavior Analysts. For this article, she discusses potential ethical situations / issues within networking on social media platforms. She revisits guidelines pertaining to social networking written by the board, and she makes suggestions on how to avoid or resolve hypothetical violations with the BACB. She concludes by acknowledging that it can be difficult to obtain these standards, however, it is our responsibility to do so as behavior analysts. Continuing on with her publications, the next one I want to talk about was a publication she wrote about ethics. This is called The Licensing of Behavior Analysts, Protecting the Profession and Public. To summarize, this article writes about the Behavior Analyst Modeling Licensing Act, also known as BMLA, seeking to limit the title of licensed behavior analysts, but not the practice of behavior analysts. This has the potential to lead to a legal argument that does have precedence. For her next publication I'll be talking about, she writes about pre-session pairing. This title is called The Effects of Pre-Session Pairing on the Challenging Behavior and Academic Responding of Children with Autism. This article discusses an antecedent-based procedure called pre-session pairing. Essentially, if the RBT/BT engaged in play and pairing with the client before session starts, it seems that the clients will engage in fewer maladaptive behaviors during session. Okay, so a summary of her work. It is very clear that Dr. Kelly practices what she preaches in terms of dissemination. The majority of her work appears to be about how behavior analysts can can engage in dissemination in an ethical way. Dr. Kelly's work of ethics within applied behavior analysis also breaches into different ideas as she touches on the topic of what should define the title of a licensed behavioral analyst. Lastly, her publication of the importance of pre-session pairing and the importance of this being an antecedent-based procedure for sessions with children who have autism. If I were to hypothetically interview Dr. Amanda N. Kelly, these are the questions I would ask her. Have you had any type of negativity or disagreements in terms of comments / people disagreeing with your posts, the field of ABA as a whole, in your work within dissemination, and how have you handled such negativity or disagreement? What do you suggest to those who are interested in dissemination? Is it okay for an RBT to engage in dissemination, or is that line of work more for a BCBA? Tell me an impactful story that has happened to you within your work as a BCBA or BCBAD. Do you have any advice for those just starting their journey to become a BCBA? Okay, so why is her work so important? Dr. Kelly's work is important for multiple reasons. She questions current policies and standards that are currently being implemented. We see this in her article written about the licensing of behavior analysts. This trait is very important within this field because it's always good to keep questioning our work to further benefit and progress in what we do. She teaches us about the proper ways to engage in dissemination. That is impactful because there should be an ethical way of how we approach dissemination. We just can't go all quote-unquote like willy-nilly on social media in terms of explaining the practices of ABA. There needs to be certain standards that behavior analysts, that RBTs must meet while practicing dissemination. So she herself practices dissemination, therefore she leads by example of her own work. After scrolling through her social media, it is very apparent that she takes practicing dissemination very seriously, and she does abide strictly within the rules and guidelines set by the BACB. She emphasizes on the importance of natural environment play and pairing before session. This is a great take on an antecedent intervention. An antecedent intervention is essentially just creating an intervention before a unwanted behavior happens. So it's a great take on that with children who have autism. Okay, and for my final page of this presentation is my reference page. This includes all of my publications that I researched on Dr. Amanda N. Kelly and other websites that I used. So thank you so much for watching my presentation, and I hope you all enjoyed.